The ACFT is out, and the AFT is your new benchmark. Implementation rolled out June 1st, 2025, and this 5-test event is laser focused on combat readiness. Stick around, I'm Alex, and I'm gonna break down the standards, who needs to score higher, what happens if you can't, and how to train smarter. Check this out. The AFT replaces the ACFT, designed to improve warfighter readiness, reduce injuries, and elevate performance. It consists of 5 key events: the 3 repetition max deadlift, the hand release push-ups, sprint jerk carry, plank, and the 2-mile run, which we're all very familiar with. The standing power throw has been removed due to risk of injury and ineffectiveness. Just like before, all soldiers must hit 60 points minimum on each event. Combat specialties, which there are 21 MOSs, require a total score of 350, and all other specialties only require 300 points. Adverse actions for not meeting the standards will take effect January 1st, 2026 for active duty and June 1st, 2026 for Army National Guard and Army Reserves. Now let's get into some questions. All right, so common Google and YouTube comment question asks, is the new test harder than the ACFT? And the short answer is yes. Especially the sex-neutral combat scoring has made it more challenging overall to achieve the minimum requirement. A Redditor asks, do women now have to lift same as men in combat jobs? And the answer is yes, specifically for those 21 direct combat MOSs. Those MOSs will require to achieve the same sex-neutral standards. If you fail to meet the standards, just like before, based on previous flagging practices, failure to meet the AFT standards by suspense date may result in administrative consequences like flagging or loss of promotability. And that's what I'm reading right here. Drawing from the previous fitness tests that we have, we can rely on AR 600-8-2 to guide us on flagging actions, enforcements, implementations, and AFT implementation guidance that indicates intent for consistent readiness enforcement. Now let's talk about tips and best practices for the 5 events. For deadlifts, practice good form. Start light and focus on hip drive and back alignment. Don't hurt yourself. Look at YouTube training videos from individuals who have nationally recognized certifications and look at the practices that they use for safe execution of a deadlift. Now, the hex bar, or commercially known as the trap bar, was originally implemented in the Army fitness tests to reduce injuries as is, but it does not mean it eliminates injuries. Therefore, look for guidance online or look at Army doctrine to see how they recommend soldiers train for the deadlift. For the push-up, focus on the hand release, focus on full extension and smooth rhythm. Find a tempo in your head, stick to that tempo, a tempo that's comfortable for you, that you can execute with ease and meet your number by the 2-minute marker. For the sprint drag carry, this is where it gets more complicated. You will have to get creative, especially if you don't have access to the same tools that we use during the execution of the AFT. But what I will say is, focus on the transitions, from the sprint to the drag, from the lateral to the carry. Mix them up so in the event that during the execution of the AFT, something unexpected happened, you are able to more rapidly or quickly adapt to the uncertain or the ever-changing conditions in the field and be able to still execute the full sprint drag carry event. For planks, this is pretty easy. Whatever you currently do in terms of your workout routine, incorporate planks in between events. Meaning if you're doing bench press, if you're doing the treadmill, as you transition from different events, incorporate planks as part of your transition. That way it'll get your core stronger and it'll make it easier for you to meet your ideal number. For runs, straightforward, just like we've always done. Look at longer distance runs, look at interval running, look at pace runs. Look at techniques that is going to increase your capacity to sustain a pace for long periods of time. If you have access to a track, try doing a slow run, a pace that you can run forever. On the next lap, try to do your fastest lap. And then once you cross the finish line, do another warm-up lap and then see if on the 4th lap, you're able to meet or exceed the previous lap. That's one technique, but there are many other techniques out there. Look at professional runners and the techniques that they suggest to improve your run times. But before continuing, here's what I gotta ask you. Comment down below. What is the event, the single event in the AFT that makes you reconsider or makes you question your re-enlistment? I would be extremely surprised if the answer is not unanimous across the board, but check it out down below to validate. I'm curious what people have to say. I definitely have an event, but I'm I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Now here we go for the training strategies. If you generally have good physical fitness and you maintain your fitness throughout the year, 4 to 6 weeks out before your AFT, strongly recommend implementing elements of the AFT within your regular workout regimen. If you're a person that don't maintain regular fitness, and especially for those who have challenges in certain events, I would start 8 to 12 weeks prior to the ACFT to start incorporating them into a regular regime and focus on those events that you struggle the most with. However, if you don't have strong cardio, the AFT is one large cardio event. Implement cardio as part of all of your workout routines, whether it be calisthenics, track, street running, or on a treadmill. And always remember, avoid overtraining. Prioritize H2F principles, which is the holistic health and fitness, including recovery, mobility, and injury prevention. If you get injured, you cannot execute, and all the training is for naught. The Army fitness test is a big step forward. It's leaner, safer, and more combat focused according to the Army. Know your standards, train smart, and let me know your burning questions such as deadlift tips, pacing, plank hacks, you name it, and I'll cover it on upcoming videos. Comment down below your biggest AFT worry, and I'll get to your question as soon as I can. Thank you for watching.